everyone, and welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to work with ink. So I wanted to show you all how to apply it, how to dry it, and how to heat set it so it's permanent. So I'm going to go ahead and start with, I will show you what colors I'm going to use. I'm going to use Cadet, which is a really nice dark blue. I am going to use Storm, which is really nice gray, and just basic white. Set those aside, and I'm working on a 12 by 20, I believe it's a 12 by 20. It might be a 12 by 24. Oh, I didn't measure, sorry. I'm pretty sure it's a 12 by 20, so we're gonna go with 12 by 20. Anyway, I'm using the Grandchildren Transfer from Chalk Couture. It says, grandchildren fill the space in your heart you never knew was empty. So that will go, kind of be offset, and then I have the little handprints, and I'm going to use the woven plaid, and I'm going to do a border just along one side. So I'm going to go ahead and do the border first, and then I will work on the rest of it. So let me set these aside. I need to grab my ink mat here. Grab that. Here's my little pressing mat, and then my Teflon sheets. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the inking mat. It's a sticky mat. So once you put it in between your layers of your fabric, it will basically let you smooth out the fabric, so that way you have a nice smooth surface to work with. I'm gonna unzip my pillow here. Let's see if it says what size. It doesn't say what size. Of course it doesn't. I'm pretty sure it's a 12 by 20. This is probably not going to go all the way to the end where I need it, but let's see if I can make that work. I really don't want the stripe to go all the way to the end, so it might be exactly where I need it here. Trying to get this straightened out. Just want to try to get it as straight as possible and as smoothed out as possible, so you don't ink over any wrinkles, because that will not look very good. Just stand up for a second. All right, that is pretty good. Pretty good. So I'm gonna grab my woven plaid here, and I'm not going to use the entire transfer. I'm just going to use one of the stripes here, and run that down along the edge of that pillowcase. Monsoon here right now. It just started raining really hard. Was not expecting that. Okay, I'm gonna get it where I want it, and then I'm going to tape off my extra. Stand up so I can see. try to get that as flat as possible so that way you're not trying to ink over any ridges. Could be about where I need it there. Let's see. Actually, I think I will roll that back under. You guys can't see this, I apologize. I'll try to show you what I mean here in a second. I have that zippered portion right there that I want to try to get to lay as flat as possible, so that way when I run my ink over that, it's not going to not going to bubble up or bleed underneath the transfer. Hopefully not, anyway. That looks pretty good. Trying to see. It looks pretty straight. So I'm going to go ahead and tape off the pieces or the areas that I don't need to ink, since I'm just using that one wide line there. Go ahead and run some painter's tape over the areas next to it. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and get this part done. And I think I'll use my small squeegee for this. Oh my Lord, I can't get that one open. This is Cadet, it's a really pretty blue. It's not quite navy. It's almost like a, oh goodness. It's a cross between navy and a cobalt blue. It's real pretty. So I'm gonna grab my small squeegee here. Don't wanna hang my ink over my pillowcase in case I happen to drop any on my case. I won't be able to get that out. So just make sure to keep it over the area that you want to apply to. And you don't want to overwork it. You want to just kind of drag it on so you know you're getting it through that silkscreen transfer area. And when you get to the end here, just kind of work that in. Same thing with this end, just kind of work the ink through the transfer at the very end. And I think I have it all covered, so let me scrape off my excess. Make sure you always put your excess back in your jar because it's always reusable. The only time you don't want to reuse it is if you're doing a technique where you're mixing your inks and you don't, obviously you don't want to put it back in the jar then because you will ruin your whole jar of paste. So, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and pull the tape off, and then I'm going to pull the transfer off and put it in my water bath. You clean ink off your transfers just the same way you do your chalk paste. You just put it in a water bath and you scrub it off with your board eraser. Let me get my other tape here. Up. Ooh, I like that. I really like how that looks. Make sure you submerge that in your water bath. It can sit there until you're done with your project, and then you can go ahead and clean it. Grab a paper towel here. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and dry that with my hair dryer real quick, so that way it will be ready to go for the heat press when I'm ready. That's pretty good for now. I'm gonna go ahead and apply my words. And I think I'm gonna just try to, I'll center it between the inside of the line and the other side of the pillowcase. So, let's see here. Get that out of the way. Move this around a little bit too once I get my handprints on there. Let's see where I want to put those. Probably center it more towards the top though, because once you get your pillow insert in, it kind of hides the things that are down towards the bottom. So you want to try to keep your design more towards the top. And you don't want to offset it that much, but if you have to offset it towards the top instead of down towards the bottom. So let's see. I really don't have to put these on now, but I want to just to kind of see where I'm going to space everything out. Aren't these adorable? This is the first time I've used this transfer. I know it's been used, but I bought it used, so someone else loved it before me. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do Grandchildren in the Storm, which is a gray. Try to turn this around so you guys can see it as I'm doing it. I'm gonna do that in gray. I'm going to do the other wording in blue. Make sure that's pushed down really nicely because I don't want that bleeding underneath since the words are so small. And then I will do the hands in white, I think. I think that's the plan. Actually, I may do the blue first since that's, I'll try gray. We'll try the gray first, see how that goes. wipe off my excess. And then do the same with your transfer. Blue. Ink takes a long time to dry, and before you heat set it, you should always either dry it with a hair dryer or let it dry overnight before you heat set it. It's still maybe a little bit tacky, but as long as you touch it and you don't pull up any ink on your finger, then it's good to go to heat set. So that's kind of the guideline that you go by. Just make sure it doesn't pull off on your finger when you touch it or when you press down on it. And if it doesn't, then it's ready to heat set. And I will put all of those instructions as far as heat setting and the temperature and all that in the description below. So that way you have them. And obviously, if you have any questions at all, just leave your questions in the comment area, and I will for sure get back with you and answer your questions. And I just realized that I got blue at the bottom of one of my letters for my grandchildren. Oh well. Maybe I'll do an ombre. Now that I got blue on that, maybe we'll just do ombre. Okay, I think we will. So, let's do that. I'm gonna go ahead and make sure I have a paper towel handy because my finger is gonna be a mess. So I'm going to get some blue ink on my finger. I'm going to turn this sideways too, a little bit sideways. Get a little bit of blue ink on my finger, and I'm going to go down through and just start rubbing them together. Just kind of blending the two colors together. So, let me get a towel, wipe my finger off here. Hopefully this turns out to be a happy mistake. I mean, it wasn't horrible. I could have left it as is with that little piece of blue, but I'm hoping that it turns out and is really pretty. So I guess we'll find out in a few minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and do my handprints now. From here, it looks like it's going to be really pretty, so hopefully that is the case. Done. I'm gonna go ahead and turn my heat press on. Sorry about that. I had to get my heat press ready to go. So that way when this is dry, I can go ahead and press it and be all done. Where's home? Goodness. We're good to go. I'm going to pull my handprints off first. Put that in the water. I need another paper towel here. All right, let's see what we got here. Hopefully it turned out the way I want it to. Turned out pretty. If you like the ombre effect, it definitely turned out nice. How cute that is. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and dry this with my hair dryer. Get that done so that way I can heat set it. Like that. I pulled some ink up, so that it's not dry enough to heat set yet. I think it's good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and take my ink mat out, my sticky mat. Okay, set that aside. Cute this is so far, you guys. I love it. I love it so much. It's adorable. So what I use to press my transfers or press my pillows or shirts or whatever I'm doing, this is a wool pressing mat. It's basically made for quilters, but I found that it works really well because I don't want to press it on my tablecloth and melt my tablecloth. So I always put it between my layers and just put it under the area that I'm going to heat press first. And then if I had any bleed through, which looks like I do on this, I don't like to get any ink on my wool mat, which it really doesn't matter. It's not going to really affect anything, but I use these Teflon sheets that I got on Amazon, and they are amazing. I've had these things for close to a year now, and they're still going strong. So what I do is I will put one in between the layers, so right on top of my wool pressing mat. Put that up in there, and then I will lay one over the top to cover the ink. And then my heat press is ready, so I'm gonna grab it. And this is a Cricut heat press, and it has your temperature setting button and it has your timer setting button. And I normally use 320 for 25 seconds. Let me make sure I'm gonna cover my whole area here. Okay, so what you do is just set it on there, press your timer button, which is the green Cricut button, or the green C, and then just kind of press down a little bit to give even pressure until your timer goes off, and then you'll move it to your next section and do the same thing until you've covered the entire area. Actually, I'm gonna move things around. Slide this over to the end and hopefully get this section with my line there. I'm hoping to get it all done in one shot. Try to not have it warp when you press it, just that way it stays straight. Hopefully. It's kind of off a little bit, but we're gonna try it and see what happens. Everything done here. Kind of think I don't have the end part done, so let me. That's done. Okay. I'm gonna try to get end part. So let's see here. You just have to do it on the flat surface, doubled like that. I just want to make sure I get everything pressed so that way you have a permanent pillow, so once you wash it, your ink's gonna stay very nicely. Same thing here. I'm gonna zip this. Grab and insert, and then I will show you what it looks like when it's got the pillow inside. This out of the way. Okay, let me show you what it looks like with the insert in. fluff this up a little bit. There we go, guys. Isn't that adorable? And it was so quick. So again, I'll give a rundown in the description of what colors I used, what products I used, and I'll also give links to the Amazon products as well, so that way you know where to find those. But make sure you subscribe, so click the red subscribe button down below, so that way you can watch future videos when I upload them. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.